When I look back, nothing looks dramatic. That's the part that hurts the most. There was no single day where everything broke. No shouting, no doors slammed, just time passing while I stayed busy and certain. I was young when I got married, 21. I didn't know much about myself, let alone another person. My husband seemed safe, kind. He laughed easily back then. We rented a small place with thin walls and a noisy heater. I remember sitting on the floor, eating dinner from plates we hadn't matched yet. I thought that was happiness. Maybe it was, at least for a while. Life moved fast. He worked long hours. I worked too at first, then stayed home when the children came. Days filled themselves without asking me. Mornings were noise and rushing. Evenings were tired and quiet. I told myself this was normal. Everyone around us lived the same way. No one talked about feelings. You just kept going. I was good at keeping things running. Meals on time, clothes folded, bills paid. I took pride in that. I believed love showed itself through responsibility, through not letting things fall apart. I didn't think much about closeness. I thought it took care of itself. My husband came home each day worn down. He would sit at the table and loosen his collar. Sometimes he tried to talk about work, but my mind was already on what still needed to be done. If he paused, I filled the silence. If he forgot a detail, I corrected him. Not harshly, I thought, just matter of fact. I liked things clear. I liked being right. We didn't argue much, which I took as a good sign. We also didn't share much. I didn't ask what scared him. He didn't ask what I missed. We talked about what mattered on paper: children, money, plans. I thought the rest was unnecessary. As the years went on, habits settled in. I stopped noticing when he looked at me longer than needed. I stopped sitting down when he asked. I always had one more thing to finish. I told myself I'd rest later. That later would always be there. Our house grew quieter even while it stayed full. There was a living room we barely used. Everything in it stayed neat, like it was waiting for guests that never came. We walked past each other in the hallway with small smiles. Polite, familiar, safe. I told myself this was what long marriages became. At night we lay in the same bed and faced our own sides. I noticed it once, then stopped noticing. You can get used to anything if you tell yourself it's fine. I believed comfort was the same as connection. I was wrong, but I didn't know it then. Years passed without markers. Birthdays blended together. I bought him sensible gifts, things he needed, socks, tools, a better coat. He thanked me every time. I don't remember the last time I gave him something just because it reminded me of him. I stayed busy because slowing down scared me. Silence made space for questions I didn't want to answer. Was I happy? Was he? I didn't ask. I told myself gratitude mattered more than happiness, that wanting more was selfish. My husband changed slowly. His laughter softened, his shoulders rounded. He still showed up, still fixed things around the house, still asked if I needed help. I answered without looking up. I thought we had time. The children grew and left. The house got even quieter. That should have been our moment. So many people talk about that time like a second beginning. For us, it was just more space around the same distance. We filled our days with routines, breakfast, errands, television at night. I believed this was peace. There were moments I felt something was missing, but I brushed them aside. Life isn't supposed to be exciting forever, I told myself. I confused calm with closeness. I confused loyalty with love. I see now how small the signs were, him lingering in a doorway, him asking me to sit with him for a bit, him repeating stories because he wanted company, not because he forgot. At the time, I felt impatient. I didn't mean to be unkind. I just thought there would be another chance. I didn't know that years can be wasted quietly, that you can lose something without ever dropping it, that love doesn't leave in a storm. Sometimes it fades while you're certain it's still there. That is how most of my life passed, steady, orderly, and thinner than it should have been. I wish I could say I noticed the moment everything became clear. I didn't. Understanding came slowly, like light through a curtain that's been closed too long. Near the end, days started to blur. He moved more carefully. He rested more. I adjusted our routines without thinking much about it. Soup instead of heavier meals. Earlier nights. I told myself this was just age. We were both getting older. I still believed time was something we had plenty of. One afternoon, he sat in his chair by the window. That chair had always been there. I don't know why I noticed it more then. The light was soft, not bright. I was folding towels on the couch, matching corners the way I always had. He asked me to come sit with him. His voice wasn't weak, just quiet. I said I would in a minute. I really meant it. I just wanted to finish what I was doing. That minute stretched longer than I realized. When I finally looked up, his eyes were closed. Not asleep, just resting. I sat anyway. He opened his eyes and smiled, like it was enough that I was there now. Nothing important was said. That's what stays with me. We didn't talk about regrets. We didn't reach some deep understanding. We just sat. I felt calm and also uneasy, though I didn't know why. After that, things moved slowly and quickly at the same time. A room with pale walls, sounds that didn't belong to a home. I held his hand more than I ever had before. It felt strange, like I was learning something too late. When he spoke his last clear words to me, they weren't angry. They weren't heavy. That's what broke me. He said he wished we had talked more. He said he loved our life, but he wished we had been closer inside it. Then he squeezed my hand, like he didn't want me to feel blamed. I nodded. I couldn't speak. There was nothing to argue with, no defense to make. The truth had settled and it was calm. After he was gone, the house felt different. Not louder, not dramatic, just honest. I walked into rooms and felt the space where something should have been. I noticed how often I had chosen tasks over moments, how often I had chosen being right over being near. I sat in the living room for the first time in years, dust on the table, chairs still neat. I realized that room had been waiting just like he had, waiting for me to slow down. Regret doesn't always look like tears. Most days it looks like remembering how often he asked for very little, a few minutes, a seat beside him, a listening ear. Things I thought I couldn't spare, even though I had decades. I don't drown in guilt. That would be another way of avoiding the truth. I see myself clearly now. I was practical, reliable, tired. I thought love survived on effort alone. I didn't understand that attention is effort too. What I lost wasn't time on a calendar. It was closeness, the quiet knowing of another person, the comfort of being seen. Those things don't pile up on their own. They have to be chosen again and again. If you're listening to me now, I won't tell you to change your whole life. I know how heavy that sounds. I will only say this. When someone asks you to sit, sit. When someone repeats themselves, let them. When the house is quiet, don't rush to fill it. You don't need big talks or perfect words. You need presence. Small moments count more than you think. They are what remain when everything else is gone. I live with my memories now. Some are warm, some are sharp. I take them as they come. I sit in the chair by the window most evenings. I don't fold towels the way I used to. I let things wait. I loved my husband. I still do. I just learned too late that love needs room to breathe. I carry that truth gently now. Not with fear, not with shame, just with honesty. That's all I have left to give.